Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Amanda Ziadeh with WashingtonExec, and with me today to discuss an exciting new solution launch is Ben Allen, Public Sector Solutions Vice President at Appian. Thank you for joining us today, Ben.
Yeah, happy to speak with you.
All right. So first of all, congratulations on the recent launch of ProcureSight. Can you tell us a bit about what the solution is and what it does?
Yeah, happy to. So excited about ProcureSight. So ProcureSight is a new solution. It's available from ProcureSight.com. We created it for the acquisition professionals. And what we've done is we've taken public data sets. So think SAM.gov and FPDS, and we've wrapped AI around it. And we wanted to make it easier for those acquisition professionals to get insights and information out of those data sets that historically has been difficult, to help aid them as they're creating new procurements. They can create them faster and better and really execute on the mission.
All right, awesome. So why did Appian find a need to develop the solution? What was the challenge it was aiming to solve?
Yeah, so I've enjoyed working with acquisition professionals for over 2 decades now, and you always hear about the challenges in their daily life. And sometimes it's, closeouts are really difficult. It takes a lot of time, and they're super manual, or we're understaffed and we have too much work to get all the acquisitions done. But one of them we heard over and over again was we're often asked to buy things. And when we're asked to buy them, especially if they're new to that acquisition professional, they think, the government has to have bought this before. Someone must have procured this either in my organization or throughout the government. And now I'm learning everything from scratch. I'm creating all the documents from scratch. And we know that the acquisition process, it's pretty document heavy. It's very process heavy. You're creating new requirements documents or statement of work. So you're drafting the new solicitation. That's a lot to create, but if you're able to leverage other documents and other procurements and gain insight from them, it can be much, much faster. So we know that there's a lot of data out there. We know that SAM.gov is where everyone posts their solicitations. You think, well, that would be a great source. And we know that there's FPDS or USASpending. That's where all the award information is posted. So we know who's receiving these awards, how much they're for, who's creating these contracts. The problem is, though, those websites weren't really built for the acquisition professional. I mean, you can use SAM.gov as an example. If you go to it and you start doing a search, it's clear that it was built for the vendors. And that's right. This is a place that you advertise new opportunities for vendors to see. But it could be frustrating for an acquisition professional that sees that data set and says, there's so much great information in there. But when I search on it, I'm not finding exactly what I'm looking for. And when I do find information, it's really difficult and laborious to leverage. So that was the challenge. I'm buying something new. I'm not exactly sure where to start. I know that there's these data sources out there that can help me, but man, they're difficult to use. I don't think they were built for me. With ProcureSight, we wanted to make it easier to leverage those data sources and really give them a website that was intended for the acquisition community to use on their new procurements so they're not starting from scratch.
Awesome. You mentioned ease of being able to leverage that data. What are some other key benefits to using ProcureSight?
Yeah, so there are a number of key benefits. The one that I'm maybe the most excited about is search. And everyone looks at me like, how could you be so excited about search? Because search, it hasn't been modern for a while. You put in terms and you get some results back and you think, well, that wasn't exactly what I was looking for. Maybe I was looking for document scanning and it came back with that. But there's other things that were classified as document digitization, which is exactly also what I'm looking for, but didn't show up immediately. With AI, one of the key benefits is semantic search. We can take the search term and we can see the meaning of it and then compare it to the meaning of another large data set, all the descriptions for things that people have posted to SAM or to FPDS. So now immediately with ProcureSight, you're getting much, much more relevant results. It's not just the exact words you're using, it's the meaning of those words. And so now you're getting 10s, 20, 30, maybe more results back than what you would have seen in these other services. That really gives you a much broader picture of what the acquisition landscape looks like. So that's one key benefit. The other key benefit is there's a lot of unstructured data that's part of this process. Think a statement of work or a requirements document or the entire solicitation, hundreds of pages of information. And there's a lot of great utility in there, but it's difficult to sift through all of it. I don't know if you've navigated a large document, you bring it up, you hit Command F or Control F, you start searching for terms and it finds some things, but maybe not exactly what you're looking for. Well, with AI, you can ingest the entire document. You can ask it a question. You can say, hey, for this statement of work, how did the government define what acceptance criteria? How are they measuring success? Were there any government standard they were holding the vendor accountable for? And it will look through the document, it'll find the answer, it'll format it, give it back to you in plain English. But not only that, it'll tell you where it found it. It'll tell you the exact document, the exact page. So then you can double check it. You can go to that page. You can find additional information in that section. So it makes finding and discovering that information from unstructured sources much, much easier in ProcureSight. The other thing you can do, you're going to get a lot of results back. And some of them are going to be exactly what you're looking for. Some of them are going to be close, but not really. So you can tag the ones that are the closest to the results that you're looking for. And then at the end of that tagging process, you'll have a collection of the acquisitions that are most relevant to what you're procuring. And now the system will look at those and it will give you insights about them that you don't have to do manually. It'll say, did you know that half of these were procured off the same contract vehicle? Maybe it was a GSA schedule that was best in class. So it'll notify you of that. It'll say, did you know that most of these were being delivered by small businesses? That the average time to award from solicitation to award date was 60 days, that the average period of performance was 300 days, the average cost was 300,000. It goes on and on. Things that we would do manually and try to find commonality and trends, the system can do within seconds and give you those sorts of insights. And then the final thing that it'll do, if you find a document and you say, this looks close to what I would want to use for maybe a new PWS, you can flag that document and then you can ask AI to create you a new template. And what it'll do is, instead of starting from a blank document, starting to work on your PWS, it will look at your examples and it will create the sections. And then under each of those sections, it will create questions for you to think about as you're crafting that. So now you're not starting from scratch. You have a template and a layout that you can follow. It gets you a much quicker document as you've got a jump start on the areas that you should be addressing in that document.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, those seem like very helpful and efficient skills to have. So thanks for sharing. Let's talk a bit about integration. How does the tool or the solution integrate into federal systems? How easy is it to do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's an important part of it, right? If we can't get that data, then we can't present it back to you and you're not able to leverage it. We're fortunate that the ProcureSight solution is built on Appian's low-code platform. And as part of that low-code platform is an integration tier. And that integration tier gives us ways to integrate to different systems. Could be a modern system, web services, those types of APIs, really easy to integrate with and pull that data into the system. But we also know that there are a lot of old legacy government systems out there. So the other power of the low-code platform is we have RPA built into it. We have other integration techniques that we can use with older systems. We've integrated with an old COBOL system before and been able to push and pull data from it. So if you have a data source and it's valuable, especially combining those data sources together, then the Appian platform is great for that, bringing that data in, and then you're able to view all that data from a single pane of glass. So integration is one of the strong suits of the applications. And then from an ease of use, that's the technology ease of use part of it. That's the part, hopefully, that the user is unaware of. They don't even need to realize that we're bringing all that data in behind the scenes using all that technology. The end user's interface needs to be intuitive. And that's something that's been a point of emphasis for all of our applications throughout the years that we've created for acquisition. And we work with acquisition professionals. We bring them in. We do usability studies with them. We have dedicated UX engineers on all of our teams to build these interfaces in a way that it's intuitive to the acquisition professional, and it's meant to solve that need. We've talked about SAM before. It didn't really look like it was designed for an acquisition professional. It wasn't. So we want our applications to be intuitive to the users when they're using it. They don't have to look up in a manual where they're supposed to click next. They should just naturally know how to flow through the application. And then as they have feedback, they can provide that back to us, and we will continually change the functionality and update the functionality to meet those feedback requests to make it even more usable in the future.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, it sounds pretty seamless. All right, so to close, Ben, I'm curious, how does Appian hope that ProcureSight helps government innovate going forward?
Yeah, this is a great question, and it's sort of a two-pronged what I'm hoping to do with ProcureSight. We all know that AI is changing a lot of the applications we use, the way that we work, and it's creating a lot of efficiencies. But often when you talk about AI, it's theoretical. So what we wanted to do with ProcureSight is create a solution that you could show you how AI could really make a difference for a specific challenge within the procurement process. And that's what we've done. Created a website. It is free to use for this year for .mil and .gov users. They can sign up and they can see how AI can make finding data, using data, gaining insights so much easier. And what we're hoping is not only will they gain benefit from using the service and gain efficiencies as they're creating these new procurements, but they'll begin to think, well, if you apply AI in this aspect within ProcureSight, I bet you could apply the same sort of AI capability in a different part of the acquisition process. So I think it's very important for users, the end users of these applications, to really see AI in action, not just read the headlines or see the theoretical of how it's going to make everything easier and it's going to create all these documents, to really get in there and use it and understand where it does really well, where there's opportunities for improvement, and then where you could apply it in other areas. And that's one of the most fun parts of my job, is working with the government in a partnership to explore these capabilities, to get feedback from them, and help build new applications that make their lives easier.
All right, wonderful. Well, Ben, thank you so much for sharing a bit about ProcureSight. It's an exciting time and timely as government continues to transform and innovate and adopt new technologies like AI. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.